I had to do this video, man, dedicated to one of the community members, the OG Purple Papa. Now, for the ones who know Purple Papa, man, Purple Papa has been screaming for the Vikings to draft Micheal Penix Jr. for the past month. All right. He is a true believer in Micheal Penix. You feel me? And I'm going to tell you, man, I talked about it last night and I said, would I be upset going to bed April 25th with the Vikings walking away from the NFL draft with Micheal Penix Jr. and one of the top defenders? I don't think I could. Now, there's a lot of fans that doubt Micheal Penix Jr. And I don't think it's because of the production, because he has the numbers. Now, I tend to tell you guys that, hey, don't look too deep into the numbers because we've been in that situation already with our last quarterback and the numbers really didn't add up to anything. But what I will say is this, man, Micheal Penix Jr. definitely has the production on the field, and I got to respect what he did at his pro day. He had a good pro day, man. He wowed a lot of people. And I'm going to tell you, some of the higher ups, these scouts that scout these quarterbacks, they said easily Micheal Penix Jr. has the best arm in this draft. And, you know, we were hearing that when he was at the Senior Bowl as well. Like, so it's starting to really pick up steam that, hey, who throws the ball the best out of all these quarterbacks? Micheal Penix Jr. You know what I'm saying? And I got to say, I think I'm getting on board a little bit. I'm going to put the injuries to the side. I was with most of you guys saying that, man, I just don't trust them knees, bruh. That knee brace scares me. But he hasn't been injured in 2 years, and I'm not going to hold that against this young man, all right? Because I've had injuries. I'm sure most of y'all have had some type of injury. And do you feel mentally that it's going to stop you from doing what you want to do? Because at the end of the day, I believe in Micheal Penix Jr.'s head. He's like, bro, those injuries mean nothing to me because I'm good right now, bro. I'm 100%. I'm ready to go out there and compete. And for that, man, I'm going to respect it. And if the Vikings do make that move, then I'm riding with it, man. It's Penix gang. You hear me? You know, big Penix energy, man. That's what they were saying last night in the chat, man. Shout out Purple Gang, man. Always coming up with the stuff to say. You feel me? Big Penix energy. You feel me? Now, I will say this. The left-handed thing, that excites me. I'm left-handed, so lethal lefty, I can rock with it. I asked the question, and I want y'all to put this in the comments. Would you have to adjust the offense a little bit, being that he's a left-handed quarterback when it comes to Kevin O'Connell? Would he have to change some things around, being how you drop back and look at the field? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I know I heard some people say that. I don't know if it's that big of a deal, so I'm not going to die on that hill, so it's not going to make that much difference to me. I'm left-handed. I mean, Michael Vick, my boy, he was left-handed. Tua is left-handed. They seem to be doing A-okay. So it doesn't really mean that much to me when it comes to playing the NFL quarterback position. But I'll say this, man. When he was in Washington, he had him a great offensive line. Now, what worries me is the Vikings offensive line isn't horrible like it used to be a couple years ago when we were just struggling and trying to peacemake this thing throughout the offseason. We have some really good pillars on the end now that can hold it down. I mean, yes, we might need to tidy up some of the interior guards, but again, I think we're okay. But I do think about how our last quarterback used to get hit a lot, and that worries me because Micheal Penix Jr. isn't the most mobile guy. Now, I see that he ran a 4.46 at his pro day. And shout out to him, man, for trying to put the haters to rest because he did all of it. He did the 40. He threw the ball. He did the high jump, the vertical, all that. He did all that to show everybody, including myself, that these injuries mean nothing to me. I'm out here and I'm ready to go. And I'm standing on business, you know, and for that, we have to respect the young man. I'm not going to hold that against him because, hey, just like all these other quarterbacks did their pro day, he did his. And to be honest with you, as far as it's looking, his pro day seemed to be the most exciting. Like he took it to another level, man. He took the pro day shit to another level, man. That's a fact. He did that because everybody's talking about it now. And now his name is just climbing up the boards. Now, I will say this. There was a interview with Kevin O'Connell and Pat McAfee where they asked him about Micheal Penix and he kind of just shoved it to the side, making it seem like, and I seen a lot of Vikings fans tweeting about it, about Micheal Penix is not an option. You know, they got the vibe that Kevin O'Connell pretty much just was like, hey, we're not even going to talk about that because that's not happening. We're going for one of the guys towards the top. And that could just be a signal of, hey, we don't want to give people what we're actually going to do. Now, if I had to put it like a percentage chance on the Vikings going after a Micheal Penix Jr. and getting a defender, like using both of their first round picks that they traded with the Houston Texans for, I'm going to say the chance is probably 25%. I'm not too confident that the Vikings would make this move. But what I will say is if Micheal Penix Jr. was to land in Minnesota and get with Kevin O'Connell, I will say there's a 75% chance that he balls out, bro. And he turns into somebody that we will all ride for. we will all be grateful for, because I do believe he has the skill set to make this happen. He does. Now, you know, Papa keeps throwing out the 4,500 yards for 2 seasons in a row, this, that, and the third. You know, I tend to encourage you guys not to look too deep into the numbers, because we just got out of a situation with a quarterback that had all the numbers that you could ask for. And it just didn't turn into anything special, anything that we wanted to go for and root for. We felt like the numbers were blinding. And I don't want that to be why we like Micheal Penix. If you like Micheal Penix, I want it to be because you just feel like he's the best fit for the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to tell you, man, shout out Warren Moon, man. That's a big deal, bro. Warren Moon went out there to watch his boy. You feel me? Hey, we all know Warren Moon. Now, they say former Oilers quarterback, but I'm going to tell you, man, former Vikings quarterback, man. Who they playing with, man? Once you play for the Vikings, you a Viking. You feel me? There ain't no other team. No other team matters. That's just the facts. You feel me? But Warren Moon went out there and supported him and said, man, look, arm talent is crazy. And I think we all knew that. You know, I knew that. I never was down on Micheal Penix thinking that he couldn't throw the football. I mean, his name has been buzzing for a long time. After this season, Senior Bowl, people were talking about how great his arm is. There's a lot of higher up scouts that say this. So it's not a secret that he can throw the football very well. I just worry more about throwing on the run. And I worry about mobility in the pocket, his pocket presence, because he didn't really have to use it as much when he was playing for Washington due to their offensive line. So you got to think about that. Will it translate to the NFL? And not just translate to the NFL. You know, people always say, will it translate to the NFL? Man, F that. Will it translate to the Minnesota Vikings and the NFC North? Will it translate to that? That is what we have to focus on. That's what we need to think about. And I would say, yeah, bro. Like, I'm going to keep it real, man. Shout out Purple Papa, man. I would say, yeah. Like, I would say Micheal Penix, I think, could be a good quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, there's a 25% chance. But if it did happen, I think it would be a good thing. And I think more fans should kind of jump on board, man. Jump on board with, if it does happen, don't be too mad. You know, don't be too mad, because this kid's talented, bro. He's talented. When it comes to throwing the rock, man, he's up there with all of them. He really is. He really is up there with all of them, man. And we can never judge what's up here as much as we can judge what's in that arm. But I'm going to tell you, he seems very intelligent. Seems like he got a great head on his shoulders. I'm going to ride for Micheal Penix, man. Lethal Letty, man. If we get him, hey, the Vikings get him, man. We riding for him, man. This Penix game, man. Big Penix energy, man. Shout out to the chat for coming up with that saying, man. We riding with that. But, hey, let's see what happens, man. Let me know how you feel about Micheal Penix in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gon' do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.